People buy from people they like, but people like themselves.
As a new person stepping into this industry, what are the qualities that I have to embody to become an expert like you in the business?
Some of the qualities have got nothing to do with knowledge and skill. They will come later. I think the first quality is you need to have the right intent. I have seen this city grow out of nothing, literally, and I haven't seen any other city to match that pace, growth, and vision and the level of execution.
What are some of the underrated places in Dubai that you personally see a great potential in?
When we talk of underrated, what is the reason it is underrated? Anybody sitting anywhere in the world, when they look at this region, should be proud. Okay, if we keep our egos aside, I could come from London, New York, Mumbai, Shanghai, it doesn't really matter. You have to acknowledge what this region is doing in the last 20 to 25 years. For the last 24 years, Indians have been the number one buying nationality in Dubai.
Hello, Dubai.
Hi everyone and welcome to my first podcast. I'm Aishu, a professional dancer, and I'm currently venturing into the real estate market in Dubai. It's such an exciting market right now, full of growth, big design and vision, and I can't wait to show what I'm learning along the way. So in my first podcast, we have this very special guest who's extremely close to my heart. One of the most influential figures in Dubai. He is an award-winning mentor for his extended influence in the real estate front. He was named one of Super 100 Indian influencers in Dubai, a list that celebrates the most influential Indian influencers across various industries. One of Dubai's most significant sales trainer and coach. We have our very own Dr. Anand Menon with us, who generously agreed to do this podcast with me. Thank you for saying yes to me, Doctor.
Thank you for having me, Ara.
So, Doctor, I want to start this podcast with the fact that excited me the most about you. You are a neuropsychologist, which I think is a lesser known fact about you. And how do you think that helps you in understanding the clients and their needs?
Okay. People buy from people they like, but people like themselves. So it becomes very important when you're in sales. It is not about you, the salesperson. It is about the person who's investing or who's buying into that home. So I think it is really important for salespeople to not just focus on the process and have it as a mechanical approach and be a transaction. They have to know how to build the relationship. Now, you don't build the relationship the same way with different kinds of people, because investors who are typically left-brain thinkers, who are logical, analytical, result-oriented, they're not impressed because you can chat and you can have a coffee with me. They're impressed on efficiency and effectiveness. So I have to understand, when I understand the neurosciences, how the brain works in different people, I understand that I will adapt my own behavior so I come across to my buyer or my seller in the way that they feel I'm a lot like them. That's the first advantage. It builds the trust and rapport faster. The second advantage is, because you know how they think, how they make decisions, you reframe your sentences, your questions, and your entire approach. Because we are all creatures of pattern. We've got our own ways of doing things. And these are unconscious patterns, which means we walk into a meeting without even realizing I'm patterned. But my pattern is my preferred way of doing it. It is not necessary that that investor is operating from the same part of the brain like me.
Right.
So I would get in and I would start the conversation, start the selling engagement. And to me, it's making perfect sense. I'm feeling good about it, but the client is not getting me. So there's no sense in having that kind of a meeting. That's why I said people buy from people they like, but people like themselves. So our job through the neuroscience approach is to mirror and match the thinking patterns, not just the physical and the visuals and the body language, the thinking and the communication patterns. Once we mirror that on an unconscious level, they immediately begin to like you. They are resisting you less because you're explaining in a way where I get it, I understand it. I don't need to ask all those questions. And the deal happens faster. People are more confident. They put more money on the table and they want to work with you going forward because you're just the kind of person I want to work with. That's the reason why the neuroscience really helps in sales.
And do you think a lot of brokers understand this concept while dealing with clients?
Well, Yes and no. There are a few brokers I know, personally I know some, and plus I do a lot of training in agencies where we do cover this concept. However, why I said yes and no is we could teach something to people. At the end of the day, when they are out with the client, I'm not sure whether they're applying it or not. They may be aware of it, but applying it is where the magic happens. So yes and no, because some people know about it. I cannot tell you for sure if they're actually applying it. Part of the other
Can
no.
you say if I'm left brain or right brain?
You are, we already talked about this. You are a right brain person, front brain. You have this engager, dynamic personality. It shows in all your shows and things like that, that expressive nature. You're complete engager personality.
It's kind of scary and exciting that you can actually read minds.
Well, I'm not the only guy who can do this. There are a lot of people out there who can do this. Now, the truth is, all of us develop this ability. Once you work long enough with a client, you begin to understand them. You now know how they work. Their patterns get exposed to you, but that takes time. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, over a year. And sometimes we don't have that time when you're on a phone call or the client is chatting on a WhatsApp. So when we understand these sciences, we can make out literally within seconds who is the person. That's why it becomes powerful. And the other reason it's powerful is your patterns are subconscious.
Yes.
So you're not even aware you have these patterns. But I am aware you have the pattern, which means in the engagement, I have control, not you.
Yes.
And in sales, the salesperson should be in control all the time. So we achieve that by working with the frame and the pattern behaviors of our client.
Very impressive, doctor. Okay, so my next question is, as a new person stepping into this industry, what are the qualities that I have to embody to become an expert like you in the business?
Okay, I think some of the qualities have got nothing to do with knowledge and skill. They will come later. I think the first quality is you need to have the right intent. Everyone comes in. I ask a lot of people, why are you in real estate? To make money. I say, you can make money selling education. You can sell boats. You can sell fruits and vegetables. Barakat, a brilliant businessman here, sells fruits and vegetables and juices, and he's a billionaire today. He's got hundreds of millions with him by selling fruits and vegetables. So why real estate? Most people do not have the answer with clarity. Why do I want to be part of the real estate landscape? What they see is the money at the end of the deal. But before you will get there, you need to remember who is your client. These are millionaires, centimillionaires. These are, I would say, CEOs, directors of companies. They're very practical people. They know exactly what they want, and they're good at reading people who are in front of them.
Right.
How can you sit with those people and get them to believe that you are the right person for me to work with when you're not clear yourself why you got into the industry in the first place?
Yes.
So the intent becomes very important. Your attitude becomes very important. Now, your attitude and your intent, how are these demonstrated? By the fact that you know what's going on in your market. You have taken the time to learn the communities, who are the big players in the market, which zones are more attractive at this point in time, what's the current performance trends in the market, which are the international reports I should be looking at and sharing with my clients. When you have this kind of information, that is part of intent.
Yes.
It shows to the client that they've taken the time to know their market, they can speak with confidence, and they've got credible sources for the information. That's the thing next. So the knowledge component is important. The skill component is also important, provided you bring the psychology and the control and influence into the selling process. This shows me my attitude and my intent. So if you're a new person coming into the industry, Ara, first is check your own attitude.
Yes.
Okay. Second, check your intent. What's the reason you want to be part of this landscape? Then, once you are clear why you need to be in this, you need to have a goal. Only goal-oriented people do really, really well here because they are focused towards an outcome. People will close deals, but they're not in control of what they're doing. It just happens sometimes.
Yes.
So, but you need to have a clear goal and be focused. So you got to ask yourself why you're here. Why will you wake up in the morning when you call 50 people and they say, I'm not interested? What's the fire that you still have in you? So that is very important. You need to be goal-oriented. Once your goal is clear, you have the right attitude. Now you need to find the people whom you need to be connected with in Dubai. This is all about networking, referrals, relationships. So if you have a goal that is elevated, you want to work with people who are leaders in the industry, people who have proven themselves, they have the experience on the ground, they know exactly what they're talking about, and they can demonstrate to you they have the ability to close the deals. Find those people. It's not necessary you have to be talking to who's sitting on your left or right, or even your own manager in your company. This is any company. I'm not talking about your company. They may not even be the best people. Their attitude can be questionable. Their way of working may not be the best. This can be any company, I'm saying. So you need to make sure you find the right kind of people who will be able to mentor you, coach you correctly, people who actually believe in you and even want to help you. Once you have these in place, everything else will follow. The experience comes with time, but you can shorten the learning phase. Your crash, burn, and learn can be shortened when you're doing it with the right kind of people. But the key is selecting the right person. Just because someone's been in the market for 10 years doesn't mean they're people you should be listening to.
So, Doctor, I've seen that you never step out without your flag on. And the last time I met you, I remember that you instantly ordered a flag because you didn't have one on you that day. How proud are you of the Gulf and the growth it's seen within a short period of time?
I think anybody sitting anywhere in the world, when they look at this region, should be proud. Okay, if we keep our egos aside, I could come from London, New York, Mumbai, Shanghai, it doesn't really matter. You have to acknowledge what this region is doing in the last 20 to 25 years, particularly the UAE and within the UAE, Dubai. Because what we have achieved in 24 to 25 years, Singapore took 65 years to do it. London has had 2,000 years to get to where they are. Toronto took 230 years. New York took about 290 years to do that. So they've had their time to do it. We did it in 24 years because the vision was clear of the leadership. And this city is built on plans. We are not organic. We are not randomly growing because there is certain requirements in the market or a demand now. The demand has been created by having the plans that shape your city to welcome the people from around the world. So when you have a demand created environment and your city is engineered on plans, the people are coming, the companies are coming, the highest number of millionaires are migrating here. That's all because of the lifestyle in this city. My sense of pride in the UAE and particularly in Dubai, because I've been here 34 years now, is I have seen this city grow out of nothing, literally, and I haven't seen any other city to match that pace, growth and vision and the level of execution. I wear the flag with pride because I firmly believe in two things. The first, you cannot come to a city like Dubai and set up your company or find a job, make your money, have a family here, enjoy this quality of life and leave it to Sheikh Mohammed and his team to take Dubai into the future. Every single one of us has to be an ambassador for Dubai first. We have to be the ambassadors. A young city, dynamic, future-oriented. I don't expect investors from Syria or Egypt or the US or Toronto to understand the dynamic. So who's going to give them that part of it? Because if they don't understand the city, they will not want to invest in it because the attractiveness of your opportunity is directly connected to the attractiveness of the city.
Yes.
So we need to be the ambassadors for that. That is my first firm belief. Every one of us has to be thinking about how we take our city into the future. Okay. The second thing, which I firmly believe in, Dubai's vision is to become number one.
Yes.
We are building the number one airport in the world, biggest in size, volume, quality of service. We have the best ecosystem for business already in the world. We have the top performing real estate market in the world. We are going to the top in terms of education, healthcare, quality of life, hospitality, leisure, entertainment, conventions, the biggest conventions in the world we want to be holding in Dubai. We are going futuristic in technology, blockchain, AI, digital currencies. So our focus is to be the best in everything. Why should real estate be an average experience?
Yes.
Okay, it is not acceptable for me that any buyer or seller gets anything less than a red carpet experience. And that is the reason why I have this passion, because I understand what Dubai is trying to do.
Don't
and
they
I
already have a
want
red
to.
carpet experience?
No, not really. The city is doing everything to provide the red carpet experience, but I can't say the same about the people operating within the real estate market.
Okay.
There is about 15% of people who are brilliant, and these are the people we want. They are ambassadors for Dubai and for real estate. A lot of people don't even know why they're in the industry. Honey always attracts flies.
Yes.
So we have a lot of people. If I had to just right now go out and meet a broker and ask him how many transactions were registered yesterday in Dubai, I won't get an answer. If I had to tell them, can you give me which are the top 5 objectives of the Dubai economic agenda? No answer. If I ask them, can you tell me about the Dubai education agenda? No answer. Okay, have you heard about the Centennial Plan 2071? No answer. So this is the challenge I'm facing. So when you are not grounded in your own city, industry, opportunity, how could you give a red carpet experience?
So, doctor, give me one word to describe the current real estate market in Dubai. Just one word.
Booming.
Booming.
And let me tell you why. Okay, we have, for the last 5 years, every single year has been a record-breaking year. In 2024, we stretched that record to an unbelievable level, and people said this has to be the top. Something has to slow down now. We did 226,000 transactions worth 760.7 billion. This year in 2025, we crossed that record in the second week of November. We still have 6.5 weeks left, and we will smash that record again. Every single day in the market today is a record-breaking day. You realize when you passed your record, the next day, whatever you sell is a new record.
Yes.
And then the
Yes.
day after that, you add to that record.
Yes.
And then after that. So every single day from now till the end of this year is a record-breaking day in the history of Dubai real estate market. You have 192 of the Fortune 500 companies having regional head offices here. They have moved in here. Best ecosystems for business. So that is the reason why I'm saying it's booming. Even the millionaires and the billionaires are migrating, bringing their families into a city like Dubai.
Yes.
We are on a roll. Our economic agendas are on a roll. We are now number 8 in terms of positioning in the soft power cities. This is from the Global Power City Index report, the GPCI. We are number 8 now. By the time we get to 2033, we'll be number 3. This is based on the Dubai economic agenda. By the time we go to 2040, we will be the number 1 city on the planet. So there is no other city that is having this kind of a growth agenda out there, which is clearly taking us to where we want to go. And now, to get to becoming number 1, remember, we are a developing economy. We are not a developed economy like London, New York, etc.
But you say it with so much strength that we will be number 1 in 2040. Why do you
Absolutely.
so firmly believe in it?
Because if you look at the last 24 years in our history, everything we said we did, we went beyond. So we have the evidence of 24 years to show that we will actually exceed whatever we have planned to sell. We have a plan in place, the Real Estate Strategy 2033, to sell 1 trillion worth of real estate every year from 2033. 1 trillion was the plan in 2033. This year we will end at 890 billion in Dubai. We don't even need till 2033 to sell a trillion. Within a year or 2 years, we're going to be doing it already. So this has been the beauty of Dubai. We make the plans, they're aggressive, but the way we put it into action and how the world responds, we always exceed our plans.
Right.
So to go to number 1 for us is a walk in the park at this point. And there's no one who can actually stop us right now. There's no city on the horizon that is showing us that kind of potential. Abu Dhabi is coming up very well, brilliant, and we want them to do well. Saudi Arabia is now getting a lot of attention, and we want the whole region. Ras Al Khaimah is getting attention. Now you have Al Quwain coming up. We want everyone to do well because that contributes to the strength of the whole region, which supports everybody, including Dubai. But then in each of these places, we need clarity on agendas. So a global investor or a Fortune 500 company, why would they relocate and come here or set up a head office? Based on plans, we want to see everything laid out, and then we evaluate past performance and future potential. That's the reason we will go to number 1.
So, Doctor, what are some of the trends that you see in 2025? Let it be buyer behavior, investment hotspots. What do you think is most preferred currently?
Okay, I think we're seeing a trend to long-term investments coming in now. This is the first. There are 3-4 trends. The first trend is this. Previously, people were coming in looking for a quick return and an exit in about 3 years, 4 years, something like that. But now we're seeing people buying to own and to hold investments, which is a good sign, because then it means that the market is built on stability and not things just rolling all the time. You will always have that opportunity because in a developing economy, growth has to happen. Part of that growth is infrastructure development, and another word for infrastructure is real estate.
Yes.
So that is going to happen. But in the past, while it was people coming in to make a quick buck, we're now seeing people coming in to be long-term players and to own homes in Dubai.
Okay.
Money was never in staying in Dubai. It was coming in and going out. Now their money is finding a destination in Dubai. So this is the first trend that we have seen emerge. The second trend that we have seen emerge now is you have got the large family funds, institutional offices coming in. You got the Black Rocks, you got Rothschild families coming in, and then there are a lot of investment banks coming in. These people were never here pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, it was all individual buyers. Now we are seeing these large investment companies, family funds of the billionaires around the world setting up offices in Dubai. Because this is clear, they're setting up offices because these people are wanting to move their millions and even billions into Dubai. So there's a new trend. What was always going to London, New York and Singapore is now coming to Dubai. We're seeing foreign direct investments doubling. So that is a third trend we're seeing. Greenfield foreign direct investments are doubling. We are now number one in the world on greenfield foreign direct investments, which are these large multinational corporations or governments coming in and setting up an entire business from scratch, not coming in and partnering with established businesses.
Okay.
So when you partner, you make your money faster.
Yes.
Of course, you do have to invest a lot with the partner. But when you're starting from scratch, you build everything. You buy your land, build your factories, get your labor forces in. You have to create logistics channels, marketing, build the relationships with the government, licensing. So there's a lot that needs to be done. So therefore, for you to really make money, you have to be a long-term player in the market because you're investing heavily, a lot of money. Like when Toyota went into Mexico, they didn't partner with a local company. They created a whole new Toyota there. So this is what happened. Hyundai cars went into Czech Republic. They did the same thing. That's
Which
called
means they see a potential here.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I'm not going to put my hundreds of billions and create with all that manpower relocation, senior executives, build a brand where you operate out of the Middle East if I'm not going to make money, one, or if the economy is not in a strong place and I cannot see long-term future. So these are some new trends we are seeing. We're also seeing now quality of buyers also changing even as individuals. Singapore was never buying before the COVID. So you have now Germany, you have Italy, you have Europe, you have the US, Canada, Australia. A lot of these countries which had very little number of buyers coming in, now you're seeing them coming in much larger numbers because they have understood now that this is the place to be in the future. So these are discerning buyers. They are driven on data, trends, credible international reports. No more feel good, walk up to you, shake your hand, smile at you, let's close the deal. That does not work anymore in Dubai. What's working now is educated selling with long-term focus based on reality and trends and by pitching and positioning Dubai against the best cities of the world. So there's a lot of things that have changed. We're now seeing prop tech coming in. We never had prop tech platforms before. You can now have digital currencies and tokenization to help you to invest in property. So with tokenization, anyone, anywhere on the world can also invest. Even if you have a token, for 2,000 dirhams, you have a shot.
Really?
Yes. Previously, you couldn't do it. You needed to have the millions. Now you can buy tokens.
Okay.
And you can have part ownership in property in Dubai. So which literally means anyone in Dubai, if you're a student in Dubai, you have 2,000 dirhams. You can still have a small share. It's like having a share in a company. You can have a share in an apartment or a villa.
Wow.
And in fact, the 10th unit is being tokenized very soon. And eventually it's coming into off-plan as well. So there's this huge shift in trends because we are visionary and we are global. So we are matching what is out there in the world or exceeding. We're trend-setting in most of the things. We are the first ones.
What are some of the underrated places in Dubai that you personally see a great potential in?
Okay, see, when we talk of underrated, what is the reason it is underrated? Sometimes, unfortunately, when salespeople and brokers are not aware of the long-term growth plans of the government and why certain areas are having development, they don't pay attention to the area. So it doesn't mean that the area is underrated. It is just less exposed to potential investors in the market because the people who are working are not even aware that these areas have got great future potential. That's the first thing. The second thing is, every area is not for every type of buyer. Some areas are very good for some short-term quick exits. They could be for potential holiday home, long-term earnings. Some could be great for residences or just rental yields. Some are more for commercial and hospitality-based investments. Some are for residential. They could be communities in the desert, anything. So based on these, we need to understand whom to approach, how these have to be marketed. If we don't do that, the community is not really understood by the market for its true potential. That's when it gets underrated in the
yes.
market. Areas like Maidan, there's not much noise being made about Maidan. DLRC is now getting some spotlight, but it's still not very visible. But it is part of Zone 5 of the Urban Master Plan. It is one of the 5 zones that will take Dubai to number 1 in the world. How could it not be a potential? So sometimes you'll find a few areas like this would not be given the attention it should be getting. Certain waterfront communities, the islands, the Dubai Islands, now they are gaining traction and visibility is happening. But a lot of people still don't understand the potential of Dubai Islands. So this is the reason why it gets underrated, I would say. Just purely because of lack of information, the professionals in the industry do not understand and they're not pitching and promoting it correctly. But the government understands this. There is no area in Dubai that is not a value add area. Everything is aligning with the plans. Some of them will turn around faster, some will take longer. Dubai South is a 15 to 20 year development. Palm Jebel Ali is a 20-year development. But there are certain other communities which are much shorter. You can have a maritime city where within 5 years or say max 8 years, the community is really well developed.
Yes.
You have a Dubai Islands in 5 different islands. Of course, one island is private, but you have Central Island, which people call Island A, which is looking at a 5-year timeline, maybe maximum 7 years. Then you got the second island starting already. So each of them phase by phase will come in. So long term, we are looking at again 20 years there for the entire island project. But Central A, 5 years to 7 years, in a good place for an opportunity.
So, Doctor, this is personally a tip for me. Keeping in mind that I extensively focus on the Indian clientele, what is one advice would you give to my investors who are looking to buy property for the first time in Dubai?
I think the first thing that you should use when you're with them is always be on point to recognize how many Indians are actually buying in Dubai. For the last 24 years, Indians have been the number 1 buying nationality in Dubai. Now, that is something they need to understand. So I'm not bringing you a strange area that the Indians are not aware of. When you have over 170 nationalities who are buying in Dubai, the number 1 nationality for 24 years has been India. This year, the UK took over because of everyone knows what's happening in the UK. So people are leaving and coming here. But India is always among the top 2 or top 3. That's the first thing. Know your numbers. So when you talk to your clients, you are able to show how many people from India are investing here. That's the first thing. The second thing I would give you as a tip is when people sit in India, they can have the money in the bank, but their understanding of real estate, their understanding of how cities grow and future potential is based on India.
Very true.
Don't bring the Indian head to Dubai. We don't want to become another India. If you're sitting in the UK, keep your UK head in UK. We are not building another UK or Canada or Singapore. We are building Dubai.
Yes.
So you need to be able to help them open their mind. It's called a frame of reference. Their frame of reference is property. You're doing it in the south of India. If this guy is sitting in Chennai, he understands the Chennai market.
Yes, they very involuntarily come with that mindset.
That is natural because we are all creatures of pattern. We have certain belief systems. People have that.
Yes.
But they are not aware that that could be something that's causing anxiety or resistance. So our job as a professional in a futuristic city needs to be where we can help them alter that frame first. So for example, simple questions like you said, he's a first-time investor. I would simply say, Ara, how familiar are you with Dubai and its future plans?
Right.
Guaranteed they're not clear. So this is where I can change that. How familiar are you with how real estate operates within such a market? How familiar are you or that in relation to how many Indians are actually investing hundreds of billions every year in this market? You change their frame. The selling approach is pretty much the same. Okay.
Yes.
I don't care if you're a buyer from south of India, north of India, China, US, anywhere. We all buy in the same way. People will come and give you cultures are different, personalities are different, buying experiences are different. No. Those are all excuses.
Do you use the same approach to every nationality?
Absolutely. You have to use. I have the same approach. You don't. If you have to have a different approach for every person on the planet, it's going to be a very tiring job.
Yes.
Okay. We need to understand how people buy.
Yes.
But the process that you use should be so solid, it factors into the process What happens if it's a first-time buyer or an experienced buyer? What happens if it's a homeowner or it's an investor? If it's a bulk buyer or it is a individual unit buyer? If they're looking for commercial or they're looking for a home or they're looking for, business towers or they're looking for just a residential community for villas. So your process should take this into account. So once you have that set in, evaluate your process. You don't need I use one process. It's not stopped me from selling to Singapore or India or Canada or the UK.
What kind of lifestyle do you think Dubai will offer its residents and investors in 2030 and beyond?
What kind of lifestyle do you want?
Yes.
We are a city building for the world.
Yes.
So we do take into account European lifestyles. We take into account Asian lifestyles, subcontinent lifestyles, American lifestyles. GCC and Arab influenced lifestyles, because we are building a mini world. So we will not give only one kind of lifestyle. That's why we have European developers here today, Asian developers, you have American developers here, you got Indian developers here, Pakistani developers are here, because every one of them is bringing part of their culture and their opportunities. So this is a truly international market. If we had only Arab developers here, we might be leaning in a particular direction. So that's why I'm saying my answer is, what kind of lifestyle are you looking for? If you're looking for a European lifestyle, we know which parts of Dubai you can go to and which are the type of developers you want to buy from. If you say I'm looking for a very Asian community kind of lifestyle, Indian kind of, we know where to tell you to go. And if you're looking for something where you want to just be part of contemporary, urban, global, business city lifestyles, we know exactly where to take you as well. So essentially, we are offering the lifestyles that the world is looking for. What do you want is where we come into the picture.
So moving on to the last question, Doctor. If Dubai could be given an existing movie title, which movie would you think would best resonate with the qualities that Dubai embodies?
Okay, if Dubai had to be given a name, is it a movie name you said?
An existing movie title.
If it's an existing movie title, okay. I'll take this absolutely wild and wacky one. I would call it an Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Avatar was a movie that caught the imagination of the world by storm. It smashed box office records, things like that. And why? Avatar was imaginative. It was futuristic. They even created a whole new language for the film. So they did not limit themselves to what people knew and had already experienced. They created and defined new experiences to the extent they built a whole new language. This is the model and the spirit of Dubai. We are not driven by what is in Toronto or New York or Mumbai. We are Dubai. So we create our own path going forward. So similar to the Avatar concept, we create, we innovate, we build our own future. So that is the reason why. And the Avatar concept is, every time in history you look at, traditionally, not technology today, an avatar was a coming of a superpower or a higher entity at a moment of need. And the avatar became the defining moment at that point.
Yes.
To me, Dubai is like that as a city right now.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing great insights in the market. Now we move to our next segment, which is a much fun segment. So it is called This or That, where I'll give you two options. You have to choose one. No overthinking allowed.
Okay, I don't usually overthink. If I say something wrong, I stand by it.
Okay, so my first question is, Palm Jumeirah or downtown Dubai? Your investment preference?
Investment frame of mind?
Yes.
Downtown.
Okay. Buying to live or buying to invest?
Currently buying to invest.
Okay. Off plan or ready to move property?
Off plan.
Okay, great. Villa living or high rise apartments?
Villa.
Beachfront or the skyline view?
Beachfront.
Okay. Short term rentals or long term tenants?
Short term rentals.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It has the highest rental yield in the market.
Okay.
And I'm an investor. That's what you said.
Would you teach 1,000 agents or mentor one who changes the game?
I'll take one who changes the game, because my interest is not in mass production. I do that through my social media.
Okay.
But if I had to work one-on-one, I will choose one or two. But those are the kind of, but it's not easy to get me for that.
Yes.
Okay, I will actually put them through the mill. Okay, it's a crash, burn and learn. But I will make them champions in what they do. So I would prefer doing that. Why? Not many people in the city are looking to create these champions or next level closers or brand ambassadors for the city. People are trying to mass produce salespeople to be able to push the inventory in the market. That's not really my cup of tea. It's a different matter that everybody is listening to me and watching my videos, but the intent is to take everybody to the next level. So given a chance to mentor someone to make them ambassadors for the future, I would choose that hands down any day.
Okay. Would you be remembered as a top closer or a great mentor?
Mentor.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can get a lot of people who can close. Just because you're closing doesn't mean that you did the job. 70% of the transactions in Dubai is happening because Dubai is selling itself.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
very true.
Yes, so I would rather be known as a mentor, someone who shaped people's lives.
Beautiful. Would you rather be feared by competitors or loved by clients?
Okay, loved by clients.
Don't you like making people scared?
I don't like making people scared. I'm a very straight shooter. If I see something is good, I'll say it is good. If I see something is bad, I'll call it out. And if people cannot handle that, they need to deal with it themselves. So for me, it's the clients that are moving this way. What's the reason Sheikh Mohammed and his team are putting all this? To bring the people of the world to Dubai with the belief.
Yes.
That's why my clients matter more to me
Okay.
as well. Closing, everyone can be taught to close. Some people will close by just lying through the game. Some people will use a push technique to close. Some people will close using brilliant techniques. And I love those kind of salespeople because they are good for the city. So closing doesn't necessarily have to be because of you.
Okay.
Yeah. But making your clients love you is definitely because of you.
Yes. Great. Okay. And that's a wrap, Doctor. A huge thank you for doing this with me. And if you enjoyed this video, share it to your family and friends who love Dubai. And if you have some more questions that you want to ask Dr. Anand through me, I know Doctor will be generous enough to answer your questions on our next podcast. Thank you so much, Doctor. It was an honor doing this with you.
Thank you for having me, Ara, and good luck and welcome to Real Estate in Dubai.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.